What's up, guys? Matt here, and today I was just out here walking in the junkyard looking for barn location maps. Because if you don't know, you can kind of check out junk and then find new barn locations. But while I was out here, I stumbled upon something, and I'm like, oh man, I got to take this home, and let's make a video on it. This is a 1969 McLaren M8B racer, and it's rough, but it's a McLaren. It's a vintage McLaren. So we've got to do something with this. We've got to take it home. We've got to rebuild this thing. We got to save it, rescue it from the junkyard here. So let's go ahead and do just that. We'll go ahead and buy the car. I'm sure it's not cheap. I didn't look yet. Okay, buy price, yeah, $134,000, but it's a vintage McLaren. We're taking that thing home and we're sending it to the garage. The thing about this car is it's not going to be a lot to tear down because there's not a lot left, but let's go ahead and send it over to the car wash and get it cleaned up before we get into the dirty work. And it looks like the color is yellow, an iconic McLaren racing color. We can send that back over to the garage. So let's see what we got here. We can probably just go ahead and just completely remove the rear clamshell, both pieces to it. Yeah, there's not really much of an engine left there, but we'll bring it back to former glory, if not better, with some upgraded parts. Let's go ahead and take this all the way up, disconnect the drive line. We can get that engine out of here. Yeah, I didn't expect to see much left. There's not even pistons or oil pan or really anything. So I think this engine, yeah, the transaxle's missing. I think this what's left of this engine can just come right out. Let's try it. Let's go ahead and try it. Yep, just came right out like that. And all we have left is just a block. And it looked like maybe the crankshaft was there. No, it was the camshaft. We don't even have a crankshaft. We've just got the block and the camshaft. Let's go ahead and tear that down. And look at that. That was a very, very fast engine tear down. So let's go ahead and get this back to where it goes and get the welder, hit the car with the welder, and straighten out what we need to. $11,500 just to use the welder on a McLaren. This is McLaren stuff. You're gonna pay a little extra. Okay, this can go back. Return it to where it was. There's not much of an interior, but I always like to use the interior cleaner anyways, just to cover all my bases. It usually cleans a lot of stuff up. There we go, that's done. This can go back to where it came from. Speaking of interior, let's see if what we have here. Remove interior, and it's just steering wheel. There it goes. Send it up into the air and start tearing down our suspension. We've got our very rusty wheels and very old tire there. Get this brake caliper off. I'm expecting a lot of stuck bolts. Brake pad. The suspension looks fairly complete compared to the engine, definitely. Get that bearing out of there. Front wheel hub. 2 stuck bolts here. Or I should say nuts. And they come right off. That can come out and the cover can come off. Go ahead and get this sway bar front end link. We'll get our strut set here. Looks like we're missing the spring for that. If it even has them, we'll see. Outer tie rod. Inner tie rod. Go ahead and get our lower suspension arm. Get that out of there. We can get the knuckle out of the way, and that's that side done. On to the other. Now we can get our inner tie rod for this side, as well as our steering rack and our front sway bar. Let's jump back here. Take out the rear. These are some wide, very wide slicks. I love it. I love these 60s racers. They're so cool. So much innovation going on at the time. Get this brake caliper out. Brake pad, much like the front, but we got a transaxle there, or a, you call it transaxle. Get this wheel hub off. Some people call it half shaft. Whatever you like. Rear axle. We do have springs back here. Get this upper control arm out. With a little help. We can get this, yeah, we can get this. Yep, gonna need spray there. Get that shock set out as well as the lower suspension arm. Yeah, I'm very surprised how complete this suspension is compared to everything else. All right, that's that side done. Let's knock this one out. That is done, and it looks like all we've got left is a couple relays here, accessible from the engine bay. So we got to bring it back down. This relay out, that one, as well as this fuse, and the base can come out just like so. So that's pretty much it for that. Let's go ahead and start tearing down the body. And really, I'm not seeing anything. Maybe this windshield, yeah, we can get that out, but not seeing much else. Yep, just the windshield. I love this old, this is a very well done mod because they had those shifters on the side just like that. So cool. Love the dash. Iconic. Looks like we do have one tail light here. That can come off. All right, that thing is completely disassembled. That was quick. Go ahead and pull apart our struts and shock sets and all that. Get that all taken care of, and then we'll pull our wheels and tires off. This stuff is in rough shape. Pull that off. That's the last one. We can now separate wheels and tires. It looks like we've got some stuff left over from the last build I forgot to get rid of. We'll get rid of that, but for now we're gonna pull these apart, see if we can restore these wheels. So like I always do, I'm gonna turn these rotors. We're not gonna use them, but if we turn them, it's kind of like free money. We make a few bucks off of them because I'm gonna go carbon ceramic. But it's always nice to make a few extra bucks if you can. Especially working on a McLaren, you're gonna need every little bit you can get. All right, now that we got that taken care of, we're gonna repair whatever parts that we can and replace whatever parts that we cannot. And I will make you sit through it. So I'll see you on the other side. We've got everything ready to go. What wasn't able to be repaired was either replaced or upgraded. And now we can start building up our engine. We'll get our crankshaft in here. And if you guys were curious if there was any swap options for this car, I'll go ahead and get these bearing caps in. There was not. So this is the engine that was assigned to this car. So we got our performance pistons here, and we'll get all those in. I mean, that would have been fun to maybe put a V12 or something like that in here, go crazy, do something fun, but yeah, it was the V8, pretty much the only option. That's okay. We'll get all these rod caps in here. We've only got a few left to go. 4 maybe. Yep, 4. This rod cap in. Now we can put our oil pan on, and right after that, might as well throw our oil filter on. And we could do our power steering pump while it's upside down, make it a little easier on ourselves and our performance alternator. Now we can flip this thing over. Get to the business end of everything. We got our performance head here. On it goes, just like so. Hope you guys are having a great week. We'll go ahead and put this exhaust manifold on here. I've been working on, in real life, bought a old Volvo 940 wagon. You just don't see those station wagons in very good shape anymore, at least, you know, not common. So like I bought it to play around and work on and everything like that. Just replace the PCV valve. If you know anything about Volvos, you know how that works on those. What else? Oh, we got to put the cam in before we can put our push rods in. In goes the cam, in goes the push rods. Now we can get the rocker arms in. That being our final, we can put the head cover on. Yeah, I like working on weird cars, Volvos, Mazda rotary engines, stuff like that in real life. I just find it fascinating. I enjoy it a lot. We can throw our fuel filter on here, our cam gear, as well as our performance ignition, the rotor, distributor cap. And the Volvo that I'm working on doesn't have the slant 5, but man, do I want to get my hands on one of those too. That'd be a ton of fun. All right, that's that side done. Oh, let's get our timing chain on there. Then our cover. Water pump. But yeah, I just do it for fun in my free time. Work on cars and then flip them for a couple bucks. It's always a good time. Serpentine belt can go on. Second serpentine belt. Oh, we can already throw the fan on. How about that? On it goes. And then we'll put our ignition coil in and jump over and do this side. And with our final spark plug being installed, we should be able to put on our ignition wires, our performance intake manifold. On it goes, as well as our performance carburetors. Got 2 of these. I love the stainless, polished stainless with red look. Got our air filter base, air filter, and the cover. On it goes. And that right there looks like a completed engine. Yeah, we could do the flywheel and clutch pressure plate once the engine is back in our car. Go ahead and grab it off the engine stand. We've got it now. We can take it over to our cherry picker, install the engine. That's the one, and in it goes. And this can go back to where it came from. Now we can get on to suspension work. Send it up in the air. Start in the front. Why not? It's right here. And we can put in let's start with our steering rack. We'll get our front sway bar right there, our inner tie rod. Get our knuckle on so we can install our outer tie rod just like so. And I've already completed putting together our front strut assembly. We'll go ahead and get this sway bar in link on just like so. Our lower control arm and the associated bearings. In it goes. We'll get our front wheel hub in here. Our bearing, gotta have that. And our carbon ceramic brake disc. I feel like hopefully we're gonna need it. I feel like we're gonna be making a lot more horsepower than original. Let's go ahead and put it on our brake calipers, wheels and tires. And I went with it's a little bit different than the original. The original is like a 4-spoke, but it's black, but with a polished rim like that. I think this looks good. It's pretty close, not dead on, but it's better than what we had before, what we started with. Okay, that's that side done. On to the other side. That is the front complete. Let's move on to the rear. Go ahead and build out the rear suspension. We start with the knuckle here. We can do our lower control arm. Get that bolted in. From there, we can do our rear shock set, upper control arm. On it goes. I'm really excited about this car. This is going to be fun. I've been wanting to find this car for a while. It's a mod, and I got it a long time ago, and I hadn't been able to stumble across it until now. So I'm really stoked that I'm finally able to do this car now. We'll go ahead and get that brake disc on there, our brake pads, and our calipers, just like so. And we can do our half shafts. Right there, on that goes. Looks like that's everything back there. We can go ahead and put it on our rear slicks. That will be this side done. On to the other. That is complete. What else can we do while it's up on the lift? We could put our fuel tank in. Can we put in our fuel pump? Indeed we can. What about the intercoolers? We got one there and one right over here. On it goes. Love that. So cool. The brake servo from the engine bay. Okay, we got to do all that from the engine bay. Looks like that too. So it looks like that's everything we can do from here. Bring it back down, get those done. Get our coolant reservoir installed. I'm just now realizing I didn't even put the transmission or anything in. Transaxle. We'll get that taken care of here in a second. Let's jump up here and try to get all of these relays and fuses in. Got that taken care of. Now I think we are, yeah, good enough. We can throw the battery in. Let's do that. I think now we're good enough to send it back up in the air and install that transmission. Here we go. We've got our performance flywheel, performance clutch, performance pressure plate. Goes on just like so. Throw out bearing. And now we can add our gearbox here. Get that installed. That'll give us the option to install our starter here, which we're gonna want. I think we're good to go there. I say next we tackle the interior, which won't be too hard. It's just gonna be essentially a seat, there it is, and a steering wheel. There we go. Before I put all the body panels on, I figure it's gonna be a lot easier now to go ahead and start adding fluids. Let's start with brake fluid, coolant, and engine oil. That's really all there is for this. Pretty simple, love it, classic. Here we go for the body. We'll start, let's start front to back. Let's do our front clamshell there. We'll do our windshield right there. We'll do our front right door, front left door. I love how it's got these, what do they call them? Knock-a ducts right into the intercoolers. That's so cool. Get these like little side windows here. Rear clamshell, on it goes. Jump over here, get this other clamshell that we were able to repair. Engine cover, the crazy wing that were on these old McLarens back in the day. They were really experimenting with stuff back then. We'll get this cover here, as well as our left tail light, our right tail light. Get our mirrors on, and I think after that, that's pretty much it for the body. Yeah, that's it for the body. All right, not a lot to it. I love the simplicity of this car. Next up, we can take this thing over to alignment. Let's get that taken care of right now. And just like that, we are good to go there. Curious if we have any liveries for this thing. Let's find out. Send it over to the paint shop, see what we get. And the orange is obviously iconic for this particular race car. But yeah, looks like we've got at least one. Yep, just the single one. And that's fine by me because that's the iconic McLaren orange. Go ahead and paint just like that. And for those who might be curious, the Chevrolet logo is there because this car did run a 7-liter Chevy V8. This was before McLaren was building their own engines. Okay, now let's take it to the dyno. This is going to be the fun part. Actually, I haven't started it yet. Let's see if it starts. Let's sit in it and... Oh, that's so cool. That is awesome. Okay, here we go. Oh, it starts. I hope one day they get better engine sounds for this game, but that's not bad. This interior is really well done. All the rivets, that wooden shifter handle, that's so cool. All right, shut our door there. And time to tune this thing. All right, got the carbs tuned up. It's time for the moment of truth. Let's go ahead and proceed with the dyno test. We started with 651 horsepower, 821 pound-feet of torque, which is very impressive. That's going to be fun to drag race with this thing. But we're definitely going to take it out on the circuit as well. That's where this thing was built to perform. And here we go. We have 1,133 horsepower, 1,400 pound-feet of torque. Huge gain, 600 pound-feet of torque gain, 500, let's call it 500 horsepower gain. Yeah, drag rating of 999, go figure. I say this thing is ready to race. Let's take it back into the garage. And where do we want to go first? Let's do the land speed. See how, what how fast we can get it up to and be able to stop. Back up here and give us as much room as we can possibly get. And this thing is light and it has a ton of torque, so this will be interesting. Here we go. Yeah, that's fast. We're already at 100. 150. I think we're gonna have to change our final drive gear because, yep, we're topped out at 213 right there already, and we've still got plenty of room to go. Let's change that final drive gear. Or final drive ratio, I should say. Let's do 2.4 and apply that and see how that goes. Here we go. Let's try this again. That thing just bouncing off the limiter. It revs so quickly. We're already at 150, 200 right there. We're gonna have to adjust it again to... Can we get to 260? No. Nope. That was close. We got it to 257. Man, this thing is quick. The power to weight ratio on this thing is just unbelievable. It's breaking loose on slicks. Those good burnouts. Real good burnouts. This thing is hairy on the racetrack. I mean, you just step on it a little too hard and it breaks free. But man, it handles surprisingly well. You just got to be really, really careful with the throttle because of all that torque. But the brakes, those carbon ceramic brakes, really slow it down. Oh, kicked out there. This thing is a blast. Yeah, again, that power to weight ratio. Oh, right there, kicked out. Luckily, we didn't hit the wall there. The power to weight ratio is absolutely insane. And we are going to hit 200 right there on the back stretch. Coming around the final couple turns. Here we go, right there. And we got to slow way down for this one. And it wants to kick out again. Here we go, around this last turn here. And there we go. Call it 141. I'm curious what it'll do in the quarter mile. We'll run a couple of tests on that and see what the quarter mile number is. But for the drag racing on this one, I've had a lot of people request to do the full mile drag, and I think that's what we're going to do with this one. Especially with the way it's geared and everything, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I definitely think this is going to be better starting in second. Let's give it a go. Oh, I figured that was going to happen. So it's going to be a matter of controlling the throttle with this thing all the way down the strip. Even letting off and coasting. It's sub 13. Let's try again, see if we can get a good number. Yeah, as soon as you shift, it just kicks out. That wasn't bad. That was a lot better. 8.4 second quarter mile. I started in third too. Okay, I tried several more times and I wasn't able to get anything better than 8.4, which is fantastic, but let's do the mile drag. We are starting off against a Ferrari 250 GT Berlinetta short wheelbase with a 999 rating. Here we go. See if I can keep these shifts. Yes, it's finally able to keep it. Whoa! Going forward. Going straight. Oh, we're getting them. We're getting them. Look at that. See you later. 256 miles an hour across the finish line. We did. Wow, we did a full mile in less than 20. It's funny because we crossed the quarter mile at A4. So it's consistent. Now we're going up against a Dodge Viper GTS SR2 drag with slicks. Oh yeah, big old wing on that thing. Okay, let's try this again. See if I can keep it straight. Nope. Dang it. Disqualified. Cross the center line. When this thing kicks out, it really kicks out. Right here, we're going up against a Fox Body drag. Oh, we're getting him. Don't even see him back there. But we got him there, crossing the line at 256. Oh, he wasn't too far back. He was catching us. We ran at 20 flat, and he ran at 20.2. So he was making progress. Now we're going up against a Dodge Charger 777 with a 999 drag race. With a 999 drag rating, and he's on race tires, so that'll hopefully help us out. It looks good. Okay, let's try this again. See if we can get more than one. Nope. Can we still catch him? So frustrating how this thing just steps out on a whim. I'm using variable throttle too, and it just steps out when it wants to. Nope. He got us. Just out of curiosity, I wonder what starting in 5th will be like. We're once again going up against Ford Mustang drag. Fox body. Nope, still wants to step out. But I was able to reel it back in that time. So that's progress. Is he going to come up on us like last time? Nope, don't see him. So we actually maybe starting all the way in 5th gear. He was close to, he's super consistent, 20.2. And we were 19.6. That's the fastest we've gone yet. So yeah, starting in 5th. I mean, if just keep the thing straight. Now we're going up against Dodge Viper GTS. There it is again with a big old wing. Let's try this again. There we go. Just keep doing that. I guess I really don't need to worry about bouncing it off the limiter for each shift, because that's probably what's breaking it. Well, that's definitely what's breaking it loose. Because we're still going to cross the line at 256. So yeah, maybe 257 on that one. It ran another 20. So as long as I bog the shifts, then it stays straight. Going up against the Dodge Charger 777, the race with the race tires with a high drag rating. I don't care if I win this race, as long as I keep the thing straight, I'm going to call it a win. Here we go. And he is starting to pull away. Now we're reeling him in. Oh, but here he goes. Yeah, he's got something. Something else there. Man, that's a quick car. Well, we made it to the semifinals. That's all that matters. And I ran a sub 20, so I'm happy. I mean, he's just super fast. He crossed at 270 miles an hour to our 256. So he's definitely got his gearing dialed in. And he goes on to the final. Let's see if he wins it. No, he doesn't. He got beat by a vintage Ferrari 250 GT Berlinetta. What a beautiful car it is. We can't keep them all, so let's go ahead and see what kind of profit we can make on this thing. We're 100% on everything. That is awesome. And looks like our sell value is $1.1 million, a profit of $1 million. That's insane. I mean, the parts were super expensive for this thing. We bought it for $134,000, and we get some condition bonuses and things like that. So let's go ahead and sell the car for a cool 1.1. Let's see what old McLaren parts sell for. 2,861 more bucks in the bank right there. Guys, this one was a ton of fun. It's definitely fun doing the mile drags. I want to start doing more of those. Made a ton of money and had a ton of fun. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up. It really helps me out. Thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate it. And I'll see you in the next one.